In 2022, the Philadelphia Eagles had historically one of the best defenses to ever be assembled, as they would accumulate an astounding 70 sacks in one season, which is third all time in NFL history. The Philadelphia Eagles defense would also lead the entire NFL in passing yards allowed. 4 players will end the season with double-digit sacks, something that has never been done in NFL history. They also would have a league leader in interceptions, but as the 2023 season vastly approaches and key contributors on the Eagles defense sign elsewhere, let's take a deeper dive into why the NFL is terrified of the Philadelphia Eagles' new look defense. I'm Weapon X. This is the Voice of the Eagles podcast. And as always, God bless those Philadelphia Eagles. Play the intro. Leading up to the 2022 NFL season, no one expected the Philadelphia Eagles to have such a historic year defensively. New acquisitions such as Haason Reddick, James Bradberry, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, combined with veterans such as Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Darius Slay, and Javon Hargrave, show not only would they have an extraordinary year defensively, but they would make NFL history. Haason Reddick, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave, Josh Sweat, each will go on to have 10 or more sacks. 4 players with double-digit sacks on the same team is something that has never been done in NFL history. Extremely impressive. Now combine that with 3 elite-level defensive backs and Darius Slay, James Bradberry, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, it breeds the perfect recipe for success, as the Philadelphia Eagles would end the regular season tied for 3rd all-time in sacks. Haason Reddick will lead the NFL in sacks with 19.5. 16 sacks in the regular season and 3.5 sacks in the playoffs. Haason Reddick also became the first player since the sack became a statistic in 1982 to have double-digit sacks in 3 straight seasons with 3 different teams. Haason Reddick was arguably one of, if not the best pass rusher in the NFL. His presence alone is enough to have opposing teams up all night trying to figure out how to block this guy. As we all know, the Philadelphia Eagles would steamroll their way to the Super Bowl, embarrassing their opponents in the process. They wiped out the New York Giants in the divisional round and left the 49ers utterly embarrassed without a quarterback to finish the game. Haason Reddick would land crushing blows on the last 2 remaining 49er quarterbacks, permanently knocking them out of the game. Unfortunately, the Philadelphia Eagles would come up short of a Super Bowl win, but the standard had already been set. As free agency begins, the Philadelphia Eagles knew they would have their hands full, as key contributors on a historic defense would look to capitalize on their success via free agency. In total, the Philadelphia Eagles will have a jaw-dropping 10 defensive players hit free agency, most noticeably Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, a guy who led the entire NFL in interceptions despite missing multiple games. Javon Hargrave, a Pro Bowl snub with double-digit sacks. All-Pro cornerback James Bradberry, and future Hall of Fame Fletcher Cox, who ended the season with 7 sacks, 3rd most throughout his illustrious career. These guys are universally thought to be the team's top priority due to their production on and off the field, Javon Hargrave being the only exception due to the Philadelphia Eagles simply knowing they would not be able to afford him. Philadelphia Eagles, as expected, lost Javon Hargrave to the San Francisco 49ers.
Hey, faithful, it's Javon. I'm excited to be in the Bay. Time to get to work. Go Niners.
And shockingly, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to the Detroit Lions. Other role players like TJ Edwards, Marcus Epps, Kaiser White, and Ndamukong Suh, Linval Joseph, and Robert Quinn were expendable despite carving out roles and contributing to the Philadelphia Eagles' historic success defensively. Losing these guys would not hurt, as they would end up not returning to the team. Brandon Graham was also set to become a free agent, but declined to enter free agency out of respect and loyalty to the Philadelphia Eagles. When asked about this, Brandon Graham would go on to say, "I definitely don't want to miss out on the championship that we're about to make a run for. I pretty much directed my agent to get a deal done before free agency, so I wouldn't have to go through that part. I'm just so happy everything came to fruition." It wasn't even about no money. It was more about wanting to be an Eagle for as long as I could still play at a high level. And of course, I still have a sour taste in my mouth on how things ended this last year. Brandon Graham is an all-time great Eagle. His strip sack in the Super Bowl against a Tom Brady-led Patriots dynasty not only won the Philadelphia Eagles their first Super Bowl in franchise history, but it solidified his spot in Philadelphia Eagles immortality. Opting out of free agency and deciding to relinquish that opportunity to potentially make more money due to the love you have for an NFL franchise is fitting for a guy like Brandon Graham to display such an amazing act of selflessness. Brandon Graham is coming off his best season as a Philadelphia Eagle, racking up 11 sacks and 16 quarterback hits in just 1 year removed from tearing his Achilles at the age of 34. Pretty amazing. Glad to have Brandon Graham back. Philadelphia Eagles will leave free agency losing an astounding 8 out of 10 defensive players, with 4 of those 8 players being starters, most of whom were replaced or replaceable. Losing that many players on such a historic defense had most pundits believing the Philadelphia Eagles defense was done for. But little did the world know the NFL was in for a rude awakening, as the Philadelphia Eagles would shock the world and send the NFL into a frenzy. To cap off free agency, the Philadelphia Eagles began to make brilliant moves by signing key role players on defense, guys like Terrell Edmonds, a veteran safety with experience who was well respected around the NFL, Justin Evans, a young defensive back from New Orleans Saints, Greedy Williams, a young defensive back with blazing speed, defensive end Katavius Street, and linebacker Nicholas Morrow.
What's up, Eagles Nation? It's your boy Terrell Edmonds, man. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to let's go get it and put it all out there for y'all, man. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's go.
Justin Evans checking in, man. Just signed with the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Can't wait to get to work, man. Super excited and I'm blessed. Thank you.
Hey, Eagles Nation. This is Katavius Street. I'm here signing my contract. Cannot wait to get to work in this beautiful city with this amazing organization. Go Birds.
This is Nicholas Morrow. I'm excited to get started. Go Birds.
Not only did the Philadelphia Eagles instantly replace the role players they lost in free agency, but they also did it dirt cheap, all while improving their roster. Under the radar signings like these not only add depth, youth, and upgrades in role player positions, but it was done using little to no cap space and resources. These sneaky under the radar moves set the stage for the Philadelphia Eagles to strike fear in the entire NFL in front of the world to see during the NFL draft. In an absolutely shocking turn of events, the Philadelphia Eagles would land arguably one of, if not the best player in the NFL 2023 draft, Jalen Carter. Nobody expected Jalen Carter to be there at 10 for the Birds' first selection, but he was sitting there at 9. So Howie Roseman got on the phone and traded the 2024 fourth round pick to Chicago to jump over them and get the guy many considered the top player in the draft. Carter played in 8 games as a freshman, recording 12 tackles and a touchdown reception. In Carter's sophomore season, he tallied 31 tackles and 3 sacks in 12 games. This performance earned him a spot on the 2021 All-SEC football team. Georgia won a national championship that year over Alabama. Carter decided to declare for the 2023 NFL draft after the 2023 college football playoff national championship, in which the Bulldogs also won. The world was in absolute shock and fear. Micah Parsons, arguably one of the best players in the NFL, was in disbelief after witnessing such terror.
I'm just so sick to my stomach right now. That is just, but I'm just sick. I'm just sick to my stomach right now. I'm just sick to my stomach. I can't believe that many teams passed up on me.
It's gonna be okay.
Just sick right now. The value, I'm just so shocked. 8 teams let Jalen Carter fall to 9 for this.
Come on.
Safe to say, no one, and I mean no one, will be able to fathom what will happen next. The Philadelphia Eagles select Nolan Smith with the 30th pick in the 2023 draft. Nolan Smith was rated as the #1 player in the country out of high school and 20th best all time. His comparison was Pro Bowl pass rusher Haason Reddick and Khalil Mack. As a senior, he was named to the USA Today All-USA High School football team and a first-team All-American by Max Preps. Nolan Smith will end his college career with 12 sacks, 20 tackles for a loss, and 2 national championships. His NFL Combine performance was arguably one of the most impressive ever by an edge rusher, most noticeably running a staggering 4.39 40-yard dash. Pairing up back-to-back college national championship teammates in Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith in the 2023 NFL draft is simply scary when you understand just how dominant these two guys are, having played on the best defense in college football history. Quick side note here. The year prior, the Philadelphia Eagles used the exact same formula by drafting Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, 2 elite-level championship-winning players, having 4 guys from arguably the best college defense ever is just simply unbelievable. Things continue to get scary as the Philadelphia Eagles will put the finishing touch in the NFL draft by drafting heat-seeking missile and Sidney Brown with a 3rd-round pick, cornerback Khalid Ringo from Georgia, and Moro Ojomo with the 7th-round pick. All of these guys have immense upside and ability to not only contribute early, but carve out amazing careers in the NFL. With training camp on the horizon and a 2023 NFL season vastly approaching, we know Philadelphia Eagles GM Howie Roseman isn't done and will likely make another move. But regardless, the additions to the Philadelphia Eagles via free agency and more notably the draft is a nightmare for the entire NFL. Stay tuned in if you'd like to find out more about some of the Philadelphia Eagles rookies and some of the obstacles they've had to overcome to make it to the NFL. I am Weapon X. This is the Voice of the Eagles podcast. And as always, God bless those Philadelphia Eagles.
I was in high school.
What were your feelings at that moment?
Hello?
Sydney.
What's up? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well.
You ready to come to Philly?
Yes. Hell yeah. Oh, I can't believe that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We can't wait to get you, brother. We're excited. We're excited to have you here. I love the crowd in the background celebrating. You're going to have a lot of fun here. We're going to have a lot of fun together. I'm going to put Coach Sirianni on the phone. Congratulations.
Sydney, congratulations, man.
I can't wait, man. I'm excited. I can't wait. Yeah, appreciate you, Coach. I'm just ready to help compete and help you guys win games.
Let's go. Hey, enjoy your night. You only get drafted one time, so.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Sidney Brown, DB, Illinois. Former University of Georgia star football player Jalen Carter is out of jail. Last night, he turned himself into Athens Clarke County jails. He faces charges in connection with a crash that killed his former teammate and a university staff member.
The authorities say he is one of the drivers seen here waiting in a black SUV at a traffic light shortly before they say the two SUVs went on a drunken high-speed race through city streets, killing 24-year-old Chandler LaCroix, a recruiting analyst, and offensive lineman Devin Willock, who was seated behind her on January 15th.
right, so the next question I'm going to ask you, I need you to be honest with me, okay? Were you guys racing to Waffle House?
I was.
Because I can tell you right now from looking at the damage to that car, they were moving.
Yeah, they was drawn.
Okay.
That's why.
What makes you say that?
Because I seen them downtown, but I wouldn't say like I was with them. I was just walking.
You know who was driving that one?
I think it was one of the girls.
Okay, how do you know the girls? What do?
They part of football. Everybody part of football. I don't know. I feel like he trying to get something out of just something. So we gonna see. But that's why they do the plan.
Here you go, Jalen.
Of all players in this year's draft class, there was one who couldn't afford to have a bad pro day workout. It was Jalen Carter. I mean, having a bad pro day workout is the equivalent of failing a take-home open book exam. There is no excuse for it. There's no reason for it. He showed up 9 pounds heavier than he was at the scouting combine. He didn't finish positional drills because he was cramping up and breathing heavily, and he didn't run the 40-yard dash. And obviously, that is not dispositive on what kind of an NFL player he's going to be.
Yeah.
But when you have these off-field questions that were on full boil at the scouting combine over the ultimate charges of reckless driving and racing in connection with an incident that resulted in 2 people dying in another car, how are you not as buttoned up as you can be?
There are going to be a lot of questions that teams have about his alleged involvement that night and what role he played here and what he thinks of the situation.
To have this kind of thing now be thrown into the mix and really be up in the air about exactly what did happen on the night of January the 15th, look, that's something that right now, look, uncertainty, football teams don't like uncertainty.
Jalen, it's Howie Roseman. How you doing, brother? Can't wait to get you up here, brother. Just like you did to Georgia, man. You know the goal. Confetti falling on our head championships.
Congratulations, man. You get to join all your teammates. Let's go. Hey, congrats, man.
Congrats.
I just want to thank God. I want to thank my mom, thank my family for being out here for me and supporting me. And you know, it's time to work. The Eagles got the best player in the draft. And I'm for the show it. And I told them they got the best player in the draft. And you know, day one when I get there, it's time to work. And we're going to win the Super Bowl.
Bucks cornerback Kelee Ringo is celebrating his college football championship this week. But while victorious on the field, his family is still fighting a tough battle off of it.
My mother, her name is Trilly Hale. Just her battling breast cancer has been a huge inspiration to me. She was able to beat cancer right after 2021 season.
Hale was diagnosed with an aggressive form of breast cancer in 2020, right as Ringo was settling into college life. From tough chemo treatments,
just learned that I'm gonna be going back on chemo for 5 months.
To successful ones.
It would be this big of a deal. Oh, yes! It's so hard. It was so hard.
One of the main quotes to me that means a lot is tough times don't last, tough people do.
To honor my mother in her fight, I'm partnering with Bulldogs Battling Breast Cancer.
It's a way to receive early detection screenings.
Thank you for your following and for your love and support.
It's really huge to have a support system like her and the rest of my family around me as I'm going through times like this. When my time comes to get drafted, one message I have for my mother is I could truly say you're my why, and just give me the opportunity to put one foot in front of the other every single day.
A lot of people know about your story with your mom on draft day. To hear your name called, be there with your mom, what's that gonna feel like?
Man, it's gonna be a great feeling, of course, going back to all the things me and her went through together, and just a huge sigh of relief, but also it's just the beginning of a new chapter, man. So definitely absorbing that moment and definitely be appreciative of that, you know. But after that, man, on to a new chapter and growing from that.
Are you gonna have
national championship? It's been a lot of blessings all at once.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Kelee Ringo, defensive back, Georgia.
Can y'all feel that? Can you feel what's about to happen on this field, man? Can you feel what we about to get into? They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing is beating in your doggone chest right now. Whatever you got to do, I got to have